Did you know that the secret to reducing inflammation in your abdomen and feeling like new could be hidden in something as simple as a whole grain roll that you have probably ignored your entire life? Hello, I'm Dr. Emma, and I have been working for over 20 years with older adults who come to my clinic with the same problem. They feel bloated, uncomfortable, with heavy digestion that drains their energy and makes them feel years older than they really are. And when I ask them what they have for breakfast, it's almost always the same. White bread, refined cookies, sugary cereals. That's where the problem lies. But today, I'm going to reveal something that has changed the lives of hundreds of my patients, something so simple that you might not believe it until you try it yourself. Before we begin, let me know in the comments where you're watching this video from, so I can see how far it reached. A few months ago, Maria came to my clinic, a 63-year-old woman who could barely button her pants by mid-afternoon. She told me with frustration that her abdomen ballooned after every meal, that she constantly felt gassy, and her energy was at rock bottom. The first thing I noticed when reviewing her diet was the total absence of real fiber. She ate bread, yes, but white bread. She ate cereals, but processed ones. Her intestine was crying out for help, and she didn't know it. I proposed something radical for her, to replace those white rolls and industrial bread with real whole grain rolls. Not the ones that say whole grain at the supermarket but have refined flour as the first ingredient. I'm talking about rolls made with 100% whole grain flour, with seeds, with real fiber. And you know what happened in just 2 weeks? Maria came back to my clinic radiant. She told me her abdomen had stopped bloating. She was going to the bathroom regularly for the first time in years, and she felt more energetic than ever. Now, you might ask, why? Does this work? Let me explain it simply but scientifically. Whole grain rolls contain something your body desperately needs: soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and forms a kind of gel in your intestines that slows digestion healthily, preventing blood sugar spikes that leave you tired and hungry 2 hours later. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, acts like a natural broom that sweeps your intestines, promoting movement and avoiding the constipation that causes so much bloating and discomfort. Think of your intestine as a road. If you only eat refined foods, it's like the road is empty, with nothing stimulating movement, nothing cleaning it. Everything gets stuck, fermenting, producing gas, inflammation. But when you add fiber from whole grain rolls, it's like sending a convoy of vehicles that keep everything moving, clean, and efficient. But beware, not all whole grain rolls are the same. At the supermarket, you'll see many packages that say whole grain in big letters, but when you look at the ingredients, refined flour is listed first. That's a trick. Look for those where the first ingredient is whole wheat flour, rye, or spelt. Look for ones with visible seeds: chia, flax, sunflower, sesame. Those seeds add not only more fiber but also healthy fats that nourish your brain and reduce inflammation throughout your body. Now comes the part I get asked about the most: when and how to eat them. My recommendation, based on years of experience, is simple. Eat 1 or 2 whole grain rolls in the morning as part of your breakfast. Why in the morning? Because your metabolism is more active, your body needs sustained energy for the day, and the fiber will give you that feeling of fullness that will stop you from snacking on unhealthy things mid-morning. Pair them with some protein. It could be an egg, a bit of fresh cheese, avocado, or almond butter. The combination of fiber and protein is magical for your digestion and energy. And add fresh fruit: an apple, some strawberries, a kiwi. Fruit adds more fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that your body will thank you for. You can also eat them as an afternoon snack. If you're one of those who feel that energy drop around 4 or 5 in the afternoon and you reach for cookies or chocolate, try this. A whole grain roll with a digestive infusion like ginger tea, chamomile, or fennel. This combination will not only take away your hunger, but prepare your digestive system for dinner, reducing that annoying nighttime bloating. Let's talk about the infusions, because they are the perfect complement. Ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory, reduces gas, and accelerates gastric emptying. Chamomile relaxes intestinal muscles and soothes irritation. Fennel is the king against gas and bloating. Drinking one of these infusions along with your whole grain roll boosts digestive benefits incredibly. Now, be realistic. Don't expect miracles in one day. Your intestine needs Time to adapt if it's not used to fiber. Start with 1 roll a day. Drink plenty of water, at least 8 glasses, because fiber needs water to work properly. If you don't drink enough water, fiber can have the opposite effect and constipate you even more. So water, water, and more water. After a week, you will begin to notice changes. You'll go to the bathroom more regularly. Your abdomen will feel less tight, less bloated. You'll have more energy because your body is absorbing nutrients better. And in 2 or 3 weeks, like what happened to Maria and so many other patients of mine, you will feel like a new person. I want you to understand something important. This is not a temporary diet. It's a habit change. Whole grain rolls should become part of your daily routine, not something you do for a week and then abandon. Consistency is what brings lasting results. And if you have specific digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome or celiac disease, consult your doctor before making significant changes to your diet. But for most people, especially those over 50, incorporating whole grain rolls is one of the best decisions they can make for their digestive health. So now you know. Go to the supermarket, find those real whole grain rolls, start tomorrow morning with 1 at breakfast, pair it with protein and fruit, drink water throughout the day, and watch how your body thanks you. Feeling light, active, and free from that annoying bloating is within reach with a simple change. Try it for 2 weeks and then tell me in the comments how it went. I guarantee you won't want to go back. I just want the content of the text translated without any explanation or indication. Now then, let me tell you something that many people don't know, and that could be sabotaging your efforts to feel better. Not all whole wheat buns are truly whole wheat. Yes, you heard that right. Many of the products you find in the supermarket are labeled whole wheat, but when you read the ingredient list, you discover that they contain refined flour mixed with a small percentage of bran or simply colorings that give them that characteristic dark appearance. It's a very common marketing trick, and it's essential that you learn to identify authentic whole wheat buns to get all the benefits you deserve. When you go to buy your buns, turn the package over and look for the ingredient list. The first ingredient should be whole wheat flour, spelt, rye, or oat flour, not refined wheat flour. This detail makes all the difference. A truly whole wheat bun contains the whole grain, with its bran, germ, and endosperm, which means it retains all the fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, iron, and antioxidants your digestive system needs to function properly. Fiber is your great ally, but you need to understand it well. There are 2 main types, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber, and both work together inside your body. Soluble fiber dissolves in water, forming a round, kind of gel that slows digestion and helps you feel full longer, as well as regulating blood sugar levels. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, acts like a natural broom that sweeps your intestines, facilitating transit and preventing the constipation that causes so much discomfort. Quality whole wheat buns offer you both in ideal proportions. Now, here comes a tip that will transform your experience. When you incorporate whole wheat buns into your routine, do it gradually. If your current diet is low in fiber and suddenly you start consuming large amounts, your digestive system could feel overwhelmed, causing gas or temporary discomfort. Start with half a bun a day during the first week, always accompanied by plenty of water. Hydration is crucial because fiber needs liquid to do its job properly. Without water, fiber can have the opposite effect and cause constipation. I especially recommend you eat your whole wheat bun in the morning, perhaps lightly toasted, and accompanied by a bit of extra virgin olive oil and fresh tomato. This combination is not only delicious, but also activates your metabolism early on and naturally kickstarts your digestive system. If you prefer something sweet, a teaspoon of raw honey or a bit of mashed avocado are wonderful options that complement the benefits of the whole wheat bun. Another fantastic option is to include it as an afternoon snack, that time of day when many people turn to unhealthy options out of anxiety or hunger. A whole wheat bun with a handful of nuts or a chamomile infusion will keep you satisfied, improve your digestion, and prevent you from arriving at dinner with ravenous hunger that leads to overeating. And here's the secret that will completely change your perspective. Your gut not only digests food, it's your second brain. And when you take care of it with quality fiber, it not only improves your digestion, but also your mood, your energy, and even the quality of your sleep. Now, I want to share with you something I discovered after years of working with people struggling with chronic digestive issues. Most of them didn't have a serious disease. They had simply been feeding their gut microbiota poorly for decades without knowing it. It turns out that the beneficial bacteria living in your gut primarily feed on fiber, and when you consume genuine whole grain rolls, you are literally cultivating an inner garden of microorganisms that protect you, strengthen your immune system, and produce essential vitamins for your body. It's fascinating when you understand that taking care of yourself is not just a matter of calories or weight, but of nourishing this internal ecosystem that determines how you feel every day. Let me tell you about Mercedes, one of my 68-year-old patients who came to my office desperate because she had been suffering for years from constant bloating, constipation, and a persistent feeling of heaviness that took away her desire to go out, socialize, and live fully. She had tried everything, from laxatives to restrictive diets, that only made her situation worse. When we reviewed her diet together, we discovered that she consumed ultra-processed products that claimed to be healthy but actually lacked real fiber. I suggested a simple change. Replace her white bread at breakfast with a genuine whole grain roll, always checking the ingredients, and increase her water intake to 2 liters a day. In 3 weeks, Mercedes came to her follow-up appointment glowing. She told me through tears that for the first time in years she felt light, that her abdomen no longer looked like a balloon about to burst, and that she had regained the energy she thought was lost forever. The incredible thing is that this simple change had completely transformed her quality of life. This story repeats itself again and again because we underestimate the power of small, consistent habits. You don't need drastic revolutions or extreme sacrifices. You need the right information and conscious decisions every day. When you choose a real whole grain roll, you are making a decision in favor of your well-being that multiplies with every bite, every day, every week. Your body has an extraordinary ability to regenerate and balance itself when you give it the right tools, and whole fiber is one of the most powerful there is. So I invite you to, tomorrow, when you go to the supermarket, take an extra 5 minutes to read labels, to look for that roll that has whole wheat flour as the first ingredient, that isn't loaded with added sugars or unnecessary additives. Take it home, toast it lightly, sit down to enjoy it without hurry, accompanied by something you like, and watch how your body thanks you for this act of self-love. Because taking care of yourself doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be real, conscious, and consistent. And when you notice in a few weeks how your digestion improves, how bloating disappears, and how you feel more energetic, you will remember this moment as the starting point of a transformation that goes far beyond simply swapping one food for another. Now then, there is something else I need to share with you before I say goodbye. Something that may surprise you. During these 20 years of accompanying older adults on their journey to well-being, I have observed a pattern that repeats constantly. Those who achieve the deepest and most lasting changes are not the ones with the greatest willpower, nor those with the most financial resources. They are simply those who understand that their body is their most important home, the only place where they will live their entire life, and that it deserves to be cared for with the same dedication with which they care for their house, their garden, or their relationships. When you start to see every dietary decision as an act of respect toward yourself, everything changes. It is no longer about following a trendy diet or meeting external expectations. It is about honoring the body that has accompanied you for decades, that has worked tirelessly to keep you alive, that deserves to receive real nutrients that strengthen it instead of empty substances that inflame it. Let me tell you something I recently discovered while reviewing the medical histories of my most successful patients. Those people who incorporated whole grain buns as part of their daily routine not only improved their digestion and reduced bloating, but also experienced benefits they never imagined. Some reported that their energy levels stabilized throughout the day, without those mid-afternoon crashes that forced them to desperately seek coffee or sweets. Others noticed a considerable improvement in their mood, and this has a scientific explanation. When your microbiota is balanced, it produces neurotransmitters that directly influence how you feel emotionally. Your gut and your brain are connected in ways we are just beginning to understand, but what we do know for sure is that feeding one well feeds the other well. And here comes the truly revealing part, what I want you to take away from this conversation. You are not alone in this. Thousands of women your age are discovering right now that the symptoms they believe to be normal and inevitable due to aging are actually signals from a body asking for better nutrients. Bloating, constipation, that constant feeling of heaviness, none of that has to be your reality. There is a solution as simple as consciously choosing what you put on your plate every morning. And when you make that decision, when you commit to that small change sustained over time, you are writing a completely new chapter in your story, one where you regain control of your well-being and rediscover what it means to truly feel good in your own skin. So, today, right now, I invite you to do something different. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until you finish what you have in the pantry. Don't wait until you feel worse. Today, you can decide that you deserve to feel light, energetic, and fulfilled. Remember that every day that passes without nourishing yourself properly is a day your body had to work harder than necessary. And you, who have worked so hard all your life, finally deserve to give yourself the gift of authentic and lasting well-being.